Her hubby of elder abuse. Did the game do a show with the fake Kanye West? And does Monique have any regret at all about all the drama surrounding her role in Precious?
And to start our Friday off right, she's back. She's the co-host of the Streets Morning Takeover, Mz Shyneka.
Hey, I am ready to go. Let's do it.
Us too.
Welcome to Side Dish.
I can't wait to see what we do like for the Christmas graphic.
Yeah, right.
Like,
what happens then?
Little snow on the tops,
Let's
man.
get there.
Well, happy Friday to y'all. Here at Side Dish, we're more than an appetizer when it comes to pop culture and fun. We are the whole meal, man. Big shout out to everybody in the chat already putting their flag down.
I know, right? This 48-hour Friday, the second half. Mz Shyneka, how you feeling? How you
I
doing?
live for you asking me how am I feeling on a Friday.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling absolutely amazing. The retrograde is over,
Yeah?
and now I have a lot more peace.
Well, okay, so I'm not up on retrogrades, but what grade are we currently in, and is it a good one?
Okay, so we're downgrading from being out of the retrograde, which we're in the shadow period now. So maybe some resolutions from flare-ups and disagreements are coming to a resolve now.
The shadow period.
Yes, the shadow period.
So does things get combative, right? Like very heavily, like, you know, right before things go into like a little bit of a regression?
Well, okay, so retrograde is considered a time where you do the redo, reevaluate, you know, all the right? Reconsider. They don't want you to sign big contracts or like things of that nature, but your hot temper may prevail during this time, so you have to not give in to your the emotions that you're feeling. You have to like stay grounded, because I know so many people that went to jail, broke up, secrets got found out.
Wow.
And people are recovering now.
Oh, recovery.
Yeah.
All right.
That last re.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. I hope you guys are coming out of your shadow period.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
And putting on some clothes you like. All right.
There we go.
And it's time for some Feed Me. And we've shown you people doing parkour before, but this is just insane. Like the jumps that this man is doing in the Alps of all places. I wouldn't do this. Take a look.
No.
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 Oh. Okay.
My European cousins are too extreme, and someone needs to reel them back in.
Does he think he's a grasshopper?
I don't know.
That
Those
was
are some good
crazy.
ups and some good
It
landings,
was
but
very good.
my man is just leaping over death.
See, this is the
No.
type of stuff you do when you don't have enough danger in your regular
No.
life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So how many feet apart are these?
I don't
Clips.
know. That looks okay, because these are different jumps, right?
And that little spin thing that he does when he does the jump too, like just imagine if you
Right.
miscalculated and you didn't spin entirely all the way, and next thing you know, you just getting scraped all the way down the mountain.
Yeah.
Well, he's proven that white men can jump.
Yeah, he's doing good. Horizontally.
White men can jump
Horizontally. We got the long jump. We got cliff jumps. That's about it. We don't have dunks yet.
You know, just keep it horizontal.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Keep
safe.
it-
Yo, man, the R&B legend,
We don't like
Gladys
being far
Knight.
off the ground, you know?
Right.
One person who won't be jumping like this is R&B legend Gladys Knight.
Okay.
Her family is at odds over her safety, health, and ability to keep touring. And our brother Justin Carter is doing a TSR Investigates on the whole story. Let's take a look at the details.
She's an icon, an R&B legend.
I'm extremely concerned.
Gladys Knight, a musical force for over 70 years. But behind the legacy,
I don't want my mom out on tour, on a tour bus, wondering where she's at.
her family says something bad is happening to her and she doesn't even know it.
And we went directly to the Department of Human Services.
Only on the Shade Room.
I'm stopping this.
Her son filing a DHS complaint accusing Gladys's husband of elder abuse, forcing her to go on tour, work long hours, knowing that her cognitive health is declining.
He's dealing with my mother. This is my mama.
And what Gladys Knight was allegedly seen doing in the middle of the night that has her family sounding the alarm for her safety.
As her family, we are just concerned about her well-being.
I'm Justin Carter, and this is TSR Invest.
Okay, Justin Carter.
All right, Justin.
Be sure you check out the full breakdown with Justin as TSR investigates this story, and you can head to the Shade Room IG page and click the link to watch the whole thing. It's in their bio. That's just so sad.
This pisses me off. The whole thing. I have an affinity for Gladys Knight. In the state of Georgia, in middle school, we do a class called Georgia History.
Okay.
So as you know, she's from Georgia. I did a report on her, so you have to pick somebody from Georgia to do. So I sung Midnight Train to Georgia. I had to do all my research and, you know, recite things about her life. And then I got a chance to meet her as an adult at the Gladys Chicken Night and Waffles, and she was everything that I absolutely imagined. She was so gracious, just a really nice woman. And as legendary, she like actually picking up dishes and, hey, baby, what you want? Like, it was no show because she didn't know me from a can of paint. She was just Gladys Knight. But to see what her son did with her business, putting it out of business, like
that same son that we just
the
saw.
same son, Shyneka Hankerson, the son of Barry Hankerson, they had been at odds for, you know, a long amount of years over business. He wasn't paying the taxes, the workers, so he spent time in jail because of it. And you know, these allegations that the son and his ex-wife are making about the husband, it just doesn't make it any better. Like, who's going to protect Gladys Knight? And I would hope that if she's on tour with Patti LaBelle and, you know, all of these other legends, and they see that something is wrong, that they would say something, because at 80 years old, like, you know, you depend on the people around you to see it through. So
now, support group is everything, and I don't know if anyone watching this went to Gladys Knight's Chicken and Waffles between the years of 2010 and 2015. Shyneka deserved to go to jail for the way he ran that place.
Yes.
It got to the point where I had to roll up in there with my own Lowrys.
There's a couple key things about this.
He did it bad.
There's a couple key things about this I want to jump all the way into real quick, because what we're not talking about right now is what's going on with Gladys right now.
Yeah.
And if she's out on tour and she doesn't know where she's at, that's either
problem.
dementia or Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And depending on who you are and how you react to that, some people become very agreeable. And if I was like, oh, Mz Shyneka, we're on stage here, this is where you do your thing, you're like, oh, great. And your muscle memory kicks in. And for everyone out there in the crowd, you look to a large part like you know what you're doing, depending on your personality. My grandfather, hard into dementia, always a nice guy, kept his niceness, pretended whoever walked in the room was his best friend, including me, his grandson, even though he didn't know who I was anymore. And so what I'm saying is, like, from someone who's seen it, that could be where Gladys is at. Now, with Shyneka, here's the thing is like, if you can come around and you can prove elder abuse, the next thing you file for is power of attorney.
Yeah.
And then you have access to all of her financials.
He's going to have a tough battle with that one, because I think the court of public opinion is already against dude for the way he handled the business, because we really love Gladys. When people would come visit me in Atlanta,
you would take them there.
And it got to the point where it's like, I'm not taking you there.
I had a boss, any executive or any personality wanted to have a conversation with him. He was like, yeah, so we're going to meet at Gladys. You knew you had to buy him lunch there. But one of, like, the best restaurants that was completely ruined and took a good portion of what could have been revenue, you know, for her name, her brand, and her legacy. And now she's out here 80 years old performing when she probably needs to be sitting down.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's so tricky, because, like, right now, the first person who would get power of attorney over her would be her husband. Like, that's something that someone could do.
That she's been with for 25
Right, exactly.
years.
For 25 years, he's 14 years younger. Like, and who knows? Maybe she does want to be out there touring, and there's just been miscommunication about that.
Now, I can tell by his beard that he can't be trusted, because he's maintaining a young
It's too thin. It's too
thin.
thin.
He's still trying to bag them younger shorties, because he knows, we on the clock. And I clocked it from here, the couch.
You know what? I can't, but I will say that Gladys is going to be at the State Farm Arena next month with the ladies for the second leg of the tour, and I'm just going to bum rush backstage. I'm going to go check
Go
to see
for
if
it.
Gladys is okay.
Yeah.
Okay? State Farm, I'm there.
I'm here for it.
All right, Oscar winner Monique was on live when she was asked, did she regret making the movie Precious and all the drama that followed? And here is what she had to say. Check it out.
Do I regret doing Precious in hindsight, not realizing it would cause? No, I do not regret doing Precious. I'm very proud of that movie. I'm very proud of that character, because what that movie did was opened up the eyes to people who would hide the monster. Let me say that again. That movie opened up the eyes to the people that would hide the monster. And it exposed the monster. So no, I don't regret doing that movie. I don't regret any of the journey because all of it was necessary. And if I wasn't supposed to go through it, I wouldn't have. But I was supposed to go through that. So I don't regret any of it. Do I wish that folks could have been different? Of course. But I have no regrets. I have no regrets. They may.
Why does she sound like Riley Freeman in that video?
You know what?
Like, her voice did sound a little different, right?
You know, it's that morning voice. It's not all the way warmed up yet. You know,
Okay.
that's the way. That was my takeaway from it.
But that was an epic film, man. Like, Precious is one of those ones where it showed that Monique was more than a comedian.
Oh, yeah.
And she had, like, range. She could bring that emotion out. She could get dark. And, yeah, man, shout out to everybody associated with that production.
The controversy that has followed this movie is just unbelievable. And a lot of it, honestly, for me, it wasn't even about the movie. It was, you know, celebrities and directors and, you know, people of power, like, fighting over, you know, well, you should have, you know, did this or that. And so I've never seen the movie Precious.
Oh, you haven't?
I've never had a desire.
You took a hard stance?
I seen a clip of the movie before, and I said, I don't want to watch this.
What was it, the clip when she threw the big back TV?
It was the clip of the Pinky guy.
Pinky?
You know who plays Pinky. Didn't he play in...
Lenny Kravitz?
No. The one from Friday.
Oh! Clifton Powell?
Yes.
Okay.
Did he play in this movie?
I saw it when it was in theaters. When it came out, I didn't watch it again. I forgot.
Okay, so whoever her man was in there, I seen a whole clip of Gabrielle Sidibe and the man, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to watch this.
That's right, because he was abusing her or something, right?
It's a heavy...
That can be triggered.
Heavy movie.
I did not want to watch it.
It's one of those things, like watching that clip, it's like, and listen, we know that Monique says exactly what she means and stands on it. Like, for her, that was a performance. Number one, the film was a performance. And any artist who believes in themselves, it's going to be hard to find someone who regrets doing a movie or regrets bringing a role to life. Yeah. You know, the whole thing about her, like, wishing other people, did they have regrets? Like, I definitely see her side there on that.
Especially to like, have a wedge in between yourself, Oprah Winfrey, Lee Daniels and all those people. And things changed. Like, it boosted her up, but it also changed a lot, too.
But then it was obvious to me that it wasn't completely her or her daddy's fault, aka her husband, when her and Lee Daniels made up and she was able to work with him again. Because clearly there was some kind of something that happened that he felt like fell on both sides. So I thought that was very big of them to come back together and be able to work.
Shout out to the great communicators, because sometimes, you know, people will take a beef and they'll hold that to the grave.
Oh, yeah.
So when people could squash it within, you know, within the decade, you know what I'm saying?
Not bad.
We'll take it as growth.
Not bad. Within the decade is good, you know? All right, moving on. Actress Kyla Pratt, who's best known as Penny from The Proud Family, and her fiance, Danny Kirkpatrick, just celebrated their 21st year of being engaged.
Oh, congrats.
All right. Kyla and Danny have 2 daughters together and reportedly said they aren't in a rush to get married.
Clearly.
As long as we are friends, communicating, and doing a great job raising our kids together, nothing else matters. Facts.
Their engagement can vote.
Yeah, their engagement can drink.
I know, right? So the comments online were mixed about this. Now, one person said, damn, sis, it's about time to let it go. Now, another said, this is our Jim Jones and Chrissy. While another one said, they smart. We all know people that's been together for a long time, and as soon as they get married, they hate each other.
Fair enough.
Baby, after ending a failed marriage, I take your time, honey. If y'all good being engaged, then do what works best for you. Do not listen to these people online.
That's the way I feel about it. 21 years is a successful relationship. I don't care what you call it.
Right.
Yeah. Are y'all in the same house? Are you happy? Are you producing people who look like you? All the
Yes,
boxes
they are.
to check, doing it all.
Yeah.
And one thing we haven't heard a lot about over the last 21 years is problems in their relationship.
Right.
It works.
We have not heard Penny Proud's business.
Ah, that's Proud family. You brought me back. You brought me back. Pretty proud. All right. Man, so like, you know, but like, let's just say, because some people do like to put deadlines on things.
Oh, sure.
Let's just say if somebody like, you know, Kaepernick got on one knee, gave you a ring.
Kaepernick?
Yeah, took a knee. You know, like when you engage, you know, when you propose to somebody.
He's married to the radio girl, the other radio.
Oh, I didn't literally mean. Okay. But if somebody got on one knee.
Idris. No, hold on. What's
Well, I wasn't saying that Colin Kaepernick
okay, who played in Snowfall?
Damn Son Idris.
Yes. Okay, let's
so
go
if
with
Damn Son Idris got on one knee and proposed to you, what is the amount of time you're willing to marinate in that proposal?
Okay, so I'll help you out. I was once engaged for 5 years, and I said, "Oh hell, like what's happening? How come we aren't married?" And so I gave him 6 more months after that, and I said, "If we're not married or start like putting the plans for the wedding, I'm leaving." And I left.
Oh. What was it about the difference? What was the difference in the relationship that you were hoping for other than the contractual government part?
Well, I thought he actually meant it, but then I found out through a male friend that men used to buy time by getting engaged.
Oh.
Yeah, and so I feel like that was a mechanism, like I'm locking you down.
Oh.
But yeah, and I don't really think that he was really serious about going to that next step.
Okay.
But
That's
in hindsight, I just you feel like you're on hold. Like you're like, okay, well, I'm not important enough for this next step. You did this, but you know, where's the follow-up?
Gotcha.
And people were waiting. My mom kept asking me, "Sam, when are you gonna stop shagging up?"
To be on hold, that's definitely not the feeling.
No, baby, you can't hold me.
Yeah.
Is he married now?
Actually, he is.
How long did that take?
I could say so many things. I'm just gonna exit.
You know, I'm gonna throw it in reverse and back out of this one.
Tell you about this video that's going around of the game doing a show, and he apparently brought Kanye West out on stage, but the internet seems to think otherwise. Now, there's a poll on whether this is really Kanye or is the game trolling. Let's take a look, and you be the judge.
I will say, Kanye not the type to not take over a show, bro. Like, look, bro, standing back there looking unconfident as hell. That's not Kanye. Hold on, bro.
Wait,
That's
what?
definitely Kanye.
That ain't Kanye.
That's definitely Kanye.
Just hey, yo, let me tell y'all a quick story before this. He got.
Oh, hell no. Wait, is that Whack 100?
Like 9.
Oh, hell no. Seeing this, make it even more fishy, bro. This is not Kanye. Look at bro profile. Bro, look at that. That ain't a Kanye West nose, bro. This is not Kanye West, bro. What the?
Billion. Is it 9 now? 8? I can't keep up. Look.
Bro, that is not.
So he never grabbed the mic.
Yo, that's not. That doesn't look like
Hey,
Kanye's
bro,
skin
that's
tone.
not Kanye West, bro. Hey, I'm f***ing weak. Hell no, the game got a dummy Kanye West at his show.
Well played.
This came in the studio with a CD. It said K West on it. It had one beat on it. Dropped it off.
Anytime I gotta over-explain too, he overcompensates for this.
Yeah.
Kanye, bro, you don't think Kanye West would have came out here and be like, "No, that's not true game. It was 7 o'clock." Like, you know.
Yeah, that was Kanye East.
Right.
At best.
Kanye Southeast, maybe even
Y'all,
like.
I'm perplexed. I thought the game and Kanye broke up.
They did.
Okay, so now with what either he was threatened to come on the stage.
I don't even
and
know.
it could be him.
I think Game is a late combatant in the Troll Awards.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
You think he was just trolling?
Yeah, just doing things to get people talking, because you know
Okay.
something like this is something that will get the internet hot, but not land you in jail.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he has to get some motion going because he owes a young lady a lot of money. They was trying to take his whole house.
Right. I think they would have considered the neckline though before they brought that
That's
man
the
out.
part to me is like that guy's neckline. There's
That's the dead
Kanye's
giveaway.
neckline.
Yeah, it's very dark.
There's a shirtless photo of the game.
For no
Yeah.
reason.
Okay.
That was our producers. That's just what they
It didn't go down far enough.
How is this relevant to the story? Nah.
Yeah.
That is so funny though to bring out masked Kanye. I wonder if he's
In
going to
the
make
summer.
in the summer. I wonder if he's going to make any other appearances.
This is wild work. Well, last time we checked, over 14,000 voted, and 79% say that's not Kanye West. What say y'all in the chat?
That's 80% no yay.
No yay.
Yeah.
Wanye. He said Kanye or
Wanye West from Boys to Men.
Crazy. That's crazy, people.
Yo, you know, but it's not uncommon for certain people who operate in a masked performance space to sometimes send a doppelganger out. Rest in peace to the legendary MF Doom.
Okay.
People would go to the shows knowing that maybe it'll be Doom and maybe it'll not, and they would go just to see like which one we was getting that night.
Yo, Daft Punk was sitting in the crowd when fake Daft Punk got up to accept the awards.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. And then there's Milli Vanilli, Akon, and his brother performing for him. That's crazy.
Well, I believe those are also officials. You know, like if Akon knew. Wait, Akon didn't know though, right?
No,
his brother.
Akon did know that Blue was sometimes going because they'd be like, yo, listen, I got a show over here. Well, like, can you go over there and get this money?
Get that check.
Yo, when you're like so dark and ambiguous that like, yo, no one questions anything, man, utilize that skill set to the best of your ability. And just for clarity with the Milli Vanilli thing, they always showed up.
They were there.
Their voices were not.
Yeah, the voices did not show up. Yeah.
They was doing karaoke before, you know.
I would
battle.
I would get a kick out of like multiple fake Kanye appearances though. Like if he started popping up at all these different shows and then randomly one time it wasn't, that would be kind of dope. That would be fun.
Ooh, what if there was like a highlight reel where like you found out in the end like all the bad things that Kanye did, it wasn't Kanye.
Oh, it was fake Kanye?
Yeah, kind of like, I don't know if you watched Secret Invasion, that show Marvel put out with
I know of it.
Yeah, so like what's my man Don Cheadle's character?
Sam Rhodey.
Grody, like we found out like Rhodey, like a lot of things we thought was Rhodey doing stuff, like for the last 10 years, it wasn't even real Rhodey.
It wasn't him.
Yeah.
It was I forget what they were called. What were they?
Skrull.
The Skrull. Oh, just a little nerd moment.
We left you in the dust. You don't know what nerdy stuff is going on.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we got to go to break, but we got some Hollywood news about Tanner's cousins.
Oh, boy.
We're going to see y'all in 2 minutes.
Let's get into it.
You don't watch none of the Marvel stuff?
Yes, I do.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 9:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And neighborhoods come up. You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late-night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 10:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time!
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Welcome back.
Hey.
And Tanner's cousins news seems like Elvis Presley's family is all shook up. And let me explain. So Priscilla Presley's former business partners Bridget Cruz and Kelvin Fialco are suing Priscilla for breach of contract and fraud. Now they're seeking at least $50 million, but they're also accusing her of murder allegedly. So in their lawsuit, they have accused her of allegedly withdrawing her late daughter's Lisa Marie Presley's life-saving medication to get control of the family name. Now, Lisa Marie was hospitalized in 2023 after suffering a cardiac arrest, and her mother was aware that Lisa Marie was preparing to remove her as the sole head of her trust and pulled the plug within hours of Lisa being admitted to the hospital, and that's what the suit is saying. Now, Priscilla's lawyer labeled the complaint as malicious character assassination.
That is one of the most heinous things that you could probably accuse a mother of. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No matter the status of their relationship, and in a business lawsuit, how did this death even get implied in it?
I don't
understand.
This is all brand new news to me because I remember when Priscilla passed away, or Lisa Marie. When Lisa Marie, it was kind of sudden, and I know she just did a thing where it was like on the red carpet for the Elvis movie not too long before she passed, and people said she looked a little off.
she did look.
You know what I mean? But that, it's just a long time to be like suffering, dealing with things, the stress, and all that.
Oh, okay.
So they're saying that, apparently there was some assumptions that there was some elder abuse going on as well, and
with her business partners and her. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what's going on here. I have no earthly idea. What are we talking about?
So basically, when Lisa Marie went to the hospital. I guess there was an opportunity to maybe save her, keep her on life support a little bit longer. Apparently, they pulled the plug immediately, just to kind of wrap it up, because they wanted to try to seize control of the estate.
Yeah, that's
and that's
what
what's being alleged. That Priscilla, pushed the button to make that move forward. Because apparently Lisa had more control over the estate than she did.
And they were saying that she wanted her mother removed from her. Yeah, from her trust or her.
And I doubt the mother would do that, but I also don't know these people.
Me either.
Yeah, it's such a I would need. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I need a lot more information before I can dig into this.
These are not the cousins. These are not the cousins that Tanner is aware of.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah, but that whole plot line sounds like the plot of a TV show. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Law and Order spun that next season.
Right.
So what you trying to tell me? His mother's trying to kill her kid?
Yeah.
That's Ice-T.
That's Ice-T. That's his only line. Then he's out for the rest of the episode.
You don't see him. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah. Man, I mean,
sad news.
Yo, money brings out the worst in people, and sometimes it don't even be the family. It be the people who also can benefit from the blowback of the money.
Yeah.
And I hate that component, especially when you're taking advantage of an older person.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know better.
And Priscilla Presley's net worth is $50 million. Did this lady work a day in her life?
Probably not.
Well, she was on a Naked Gun.
Yeah.
She had one job.
Yeah, and I don't know how, what the reruns are like for that, but I don't think that's where she got the $50 million from.
The Presley name still. Elvis Presley's one of those guys. He's like one of those people who low key still makes hundreds of millions of dollars every single year. He's like one of the top earning dead celebrities.
But that's what I was about to say. It's just so incredible that as a celebrity, and most times you're worth more dead than alive.
Crazy, right?
Because, if you watched his movie, you seen that there were plenty of struggles going on.
Oh, for sure.
That's old. And I mean, for the fact that somebody's kept this estate up for as long as they have, like Elvis Presley died a very long time ago. And for it to, be worth over $1 billion is incredible.
Oh, it's crazy.
It sounds like enough more money for everybody to be happy and to shut up.
I feel like 15 years in, after the money started rolling in, I feel like I'm rich enough.
Yeah, I've got it. But sometimes that's where that weird interpersonal power play gets to be a thing, where it's like realistically they all had enough money.
Yeah.
Like we're not,
Man,
I don't know.
Whose side are y'all on in this situation? You think the mother had an ill plot to try to take out the daughter just to get the money? Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah.
Well, everyone knows 50-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio dates much younger women, but he may have a reason for that. Guess what that is?
What?
Because he feels much younger. Yeah, Leo was asked in Esquire magazine interview if you didn't know how old you were, how old would you say you are right now? He said 32. And then he said emotionally, he turned 35 last year.
Okay, like here's the thing, is I feel like anyone else could have said this. Like you ask me, how old do I feel? And I'm gonna pick somewhere. I feel in my 30s somewhere. That's like an optimistic, like I feel good, you know. But it's because we know that this man dates people who just got old enough to drink that carries a little extra weight.
I think that is a huge problem in like our generation. I can see men fighting this age, like, you know, in the 40s, late 30s.
That Peter Pan syndrome.
Yeah, it's like, you know, they try to connect themselves to younger women so they can, you know, suck in that youth.
Yeah.
And then they stray away from women in their age group because they have to grow up to be able to date women within their age group.
No, that absolutely makes sense.
I think it's predatorial.
It definitely gives that in a lot of scenarios, especially when the game comes to you easy.
Yeah.
You and Leonardo DiCaprio, you don't really have to work very hard to get it. If people seen The Revenant, you know, or anything, or like, or any of your younger movies, I'm sure they've seen the Titanic. They want to tap into that energy, so you don't even really have to put the game down. They're just happy to be there in some situations.
The Titanic, I believe, is older than his current girlfriend. Can someone confirm that? The Titanic was like 96, 2025.
Guaranteed.
His current girlfriend, Vittoria Soretti, is 27.
She's gorgeous.
So I think the Titanic is a year or two older than this woman.
She looks like a few people. She's a hybrid.
I could be wrong about
She also looks like Katie Holmes a little bit.
Yeah, she's got a little Katie Holmes. And here's the other
thing
too. Here's the other thing too is like, I bet Leonardo DiCaprio hasn't emotionally matured like he should have. We're talking about a guy who probably became a millionaire, I don't know, in his early 20s at this point, maybe even late teens. The man's been on TV since the mid 80s.
Yeah.
And so like, he probably hasn't emotionally matured, but that's not an excuse to keep dating women less than half your age.
Well,
he likes what he likes.
Sounds like he can do what he want to do.
But it gets to a point where you do got to go outside and kind of look your age, right? Because let's just say you get into a situation, right? You walking around here, you're 65, right? But you out here, you like doing the things, you dyeing your beard and whatnot. And you get into an altercation and someone punches you like you're 35.
Wait, we talked about this.
Yeah, like you don't want to get punched like you're 35 if you're really 65.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, like, because if I know I'm hitting a 65-year-old person, I'm pulling back.
I'm not trying to snuff a 65-year-old person, but I'm not bring everything I got to
at 35. Because you don't know what they're going to come back with. You got one shot. Do not miss your chance to throw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, Shyneka, could you date a man in his mid-50s who says he's emotionally in his mid-30s?
Hell no. Grow your ass up. Just grow up. Like, what? No.
Could you date a person who was 52 who identified as a YN?
Hell no. That's still like sagged and no, grow up. You don't even own a suit? That is crazy.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with maturing and maturing gracefully and owning it.
Yeah, and owning it. A lot of people, I don't know, I think especially in our culture in a particular age, like the maturing is a problem, even with the music. Like they're like, oh, you can only make rap music in this, you know, if you're this old, instead of like growing with the platform. It's a lot of ageism that exists in our culture, and I don't like it.
I think we're seeing more examples in the music space how you can do it and do it well. Because Rick Ross was a little bit older when he came in the game. Some of my favorites who are like 50 plus just dropped recently between LL, Raekwon, Ghostface, Slick Rick, and even Too Short will come off the bench and drop some Too Short appropriate music.
Yes, he will.
At his ripe old age of, I think, 60 something.
I mean, the list goes on. People are following Andre 3000 playing a
For sure.
Now, he literally said F rap, and I'm just going to play this woodwind instrument for you.
That's the ultimate. Is that the ultimate maturing? Like, I'm going to go off and play this flute now?
Catch me on a watercolors tour.
Yeah.
Man.
Hilarious.
So, I mean, asking the people in the chat, should the age you feel be the age you identify at? And should that be what you lead with?
What age do you feel?
On Fridays, I feel 32.
Yeah.
On Mondays, I feel 69.
Same.
Go a little hard on the weekends,
man. Go hard on the weekends.
Incredible number.
Yo, like my joints be making the noises that chairs make when you open them up, like the little like beach.
I've reached the age where like I got to make noise if I stand up or sit down, where I'm like, and then
Yo, I do this thing because like I literally run up the stairs every time I go upstairs. So like, so when I run upstairs, I go, hey.
Yeah.
Like, and if you just in a distance, you don't know if I'm falling down the stairs or what. But those sounds power my speed. They give me the speed I need to.
And then you get up there, you're out of your breath, and you're like, dang, I'm only gone up one flight.
That's
out of
crazy.
curiosity, type the sound you make when you run.
Yeah, what sound
in
do
the
you
chat.
make?
Just
What's your get up and sit down sounds? Okay, they say it all comes out of the funeral, and this one is a doozy, you guys. Kelly Clarkson's late husband, Brandon Blackstock's obituary was released, and Kelly's former assistant, Brittany Jones, was listed as Brandner's partner in life and business.
Whoa.
So we're going to break down the timeline here for you. Okay. Brittany was Kelly Clarkson's assistant from 2016 to 2018. That's just 2 years. Brittany then became both Brandon and Kelly's assistant in 2018. So now she's working for both of them. Kelly filed for divorce from Brandon in 2020. Also in 2020, Brittany then became management at Brandon's Montana ranch, and they were allegedly together until his death earlier this month. And they put her in the obituary. It's so tricky.
Well, did she help write it? Because if you're the assistant, you know, like
there's that part.
Like you gonna see me.
You go now.
To put her in the obituary is like the ultimate. Can you imagine you're Kelly and you got a lot of suspicions, and then you're like, and then you open the paper to read the obituary and you're like, I knew it.
Yeah,
I think she knew. It's very unfortunate, especially since this man, while he was alive during the divorce, drug her so bad. You know, he wanted a substantial amount of money. Like it turned into a real money play. You could see, like if you watch her show, she just went through a lot. I am a huge Kelly Clarkson fan, first and foremost. But I want to say, I kind of had the same situation happen to me before with the old assistant that then started working for me and my ex-fiance. That then, after we broke up, she still stayed. And so now she's like still connected to him and his wife. But then she also dated my middle and high school sweetheart. Yeah, it's very terrible. But this, it just kind of like triggered me a little bit. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have even went to the funeral
if you was Kelly?
Clarkson. No.
Really?
I wouldn't have, because you didn't respect me when you were alive, and why should I, you know, rest in peace, you know?
Do we know if Kelly went to
God'll
the
make sure
funeral?
you land where you're supposed to.
We don't know if she went to the funeral.
But she did, she took time off from her residency to spend time with her kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, to be there for them. And I thought somewhere in my mind that they may have had, you know, some kind of peace or connection before he passed. But, you know, you never know.
You never know.
They went out aggressive.
Yeah.
I just have so many more questions about your story, though.
And your little
so this
sweetheart.
person traced your whole love life and like kind of like a Roomba, followed you behind, picking up all your crumbs as you would go from situation to situation.
Yeah, it was kind of like single, white, but we're black, female, and kind of wanted my life. It's
I bet you she's sitting up somewhere with a ponytail up, just like yours, and probably
Did you guys go to school together? Did she know you when you were young?
No, she was younger. And actually, she started out as my intern. She lived in Texas.
What?
She would come to Atlanta to intern. And so I adored her so much, I took her under my wing, and, you know, she became my assistant after she graduated college.
Wow.
Yeah, she did it to me.
It be your own intern.
It be your own intern assistant.
Your intern.
Just watch the little
word on the curb.
All right, guys, we're taking a quick break. We're going to be back in 2 minutes with some Photo Shoot Friday and some flick pics. So come right back. We'll see you in 2.
You've lived a lot.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 9:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time!
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Welcome back. It's Friday, so it's time for Photo Shoot Friday. All right, now let's take a look at some of the best celebrity photo shoots of the week. All right, Mz Shyneka, kick it off.
All right, first up, we got Taylor Swift's boo and NFL star, Travis Kelce. Testosterone and serving nature realness. Okay, as a September cover star of GQ magazine. Okay, I like the right picture. I can't really.
Is that supposed to be a wig or just like a big old fur coat?
I think it's like a fur hat.
Oh,
it's a fur
hat.
Like the hat the guy wore on January 6th.
He's sexy though.
Oh, now he's not. Okay,
like
now
it.
this is too much. This is like a little calendar.
Yeah,
now
especially when you do that hand behind your head pose, you're really trying to like go thirst trap you.
Hey, look at my giant snake. Get out of here, Travis.
Okay, so look, y'all, is that hair right there with in the middle picture?
He looks like Razor Ramon.
He does.
That is a lot of hair.
Let me tell you something, Chico.
It's a lot of hair.
Wowzers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shout out to him, man. He's keeping.
Yeah.
He has an interesting life right now. He's definitely not in retrograde.
Oh, dude, this guy, I'll tell you what's going to happen to Travis Kelce is like in a year or two, they're going to get married. He's going to play like one more season of football, and then he'll just disappear. This man will be, I think he'll be a stay-at-home husband and be happy to do it.
Like disappear like Amelia Earhart, or disappear like
not like Amelia Earhart.
Like a podcast?
Just like not doing any I just don't think, I don't know. Maybe he'll be a commentator, but he strikes me as the guy who's like sit back and retire. Maybe he does the podcast with his brother.
Because if you get to the bag like that and you got a face for television, you can just use your voice.
Oh, yeah.
Man, you better protect them bones.
Right.
No, that's right.
Okay, here we go. All right. I'll be there for you. Okay, so Friends and the morning show star Jennifer Aniston is showing us how to age and slay gracefully on the September.
Okay,
hello, of Vanity Fair on newsstands right now.
She always had a little tushy on her.
She's always had a little yoga booty, little Pilates body.
We call that the old snap.
Yeah.
Okay, girl.
Jennifer Aniston
I love it.
You know what? Just like she's remained consistent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like she's never looked bad.
And just when you thought she hit like her threshold, Horrible Bosses.
Right.
I looked at her in a completely different light after that movie.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool.
You come out and let the sexual version of yourself come out in a film, or at least just the idea of it.
I went from saying Jennifer Aniston and saying Jennifer.
Jennifer.
I loved her in Morning Show, though.
I heard it's a great show. I gotta lock in. Apple,
series.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta lock in, man. Well, next up is a Rose in Harlem indeed. Tiana Taylor is giving us effortless glam on the fall 2025 edition of InStyle magazine. She's never really taken a bad picture in her life.
Yeah, the camera loves that face.
Indeed. And she got that, like, that classic look that, people just ain't walking around looking like this no more.
Right,
no. She is one of the queens of aesthetics in, the culture right now.
It's also, I also like it when people recognize that they do have this look, because then they lean into it a little more. I think they do a little better with fashion. They do a little better with photo shoots.
Yeah, work them angles.
Work the angles.
Nah, I love that for her, yo.
Go, TT.
Looking hot.
All right, and last but not least, Cruella star Emma Stone is giving the girls La La Land couture for the September 2025 issue of Vogue magazine.
I wonder if this is one of her wigs, because remember we were talking about her. Her friend Jennifer Lawrence was like, "Don't shave your head," but Emma's been hiding it with wigs for this particular role. So I wonder. Oh, interesting.
She ain't gonna win this.
I hate everything that's happening here.
Me too.
Yeah, this is a little
Make it go
Is she trying to like bite a toenail off her teeth? What's happening?
It's giving Charlie Chaplin in the
This is actually kind of creepy.
Giving
what magazine
Tinkerbell
published
in the
this?
left.
Horror Monthly? What?
Fangoria?
Fangoria? It was Vogue. Emma, she normally doesn't.
Emma gone, girl.
Ooh. Okay, who had the best photo shoot?
Ladies first, so you give it to.
Okay, so Jennifer Aniston, classic beauty.
I want to say, I'm going to tell you what my heart says, and then I'm going to tell you what my brain says.
Ooh.
Okay.
My heart says
Where's your brain?
Tiana Taylor. Like, she stuns. But just for a second, go with me here. I'm going to say Travis Kelce. I'm going to tell you why. Can we get those photos? Because this looks like to me that whoever it was like, all right, Travis, hey, it's GQ. What do you want to do in your photo shoot? I don't know, man. Can I like stand on a thing like sprays me up out of the water? And they're like, yeah, what about that? And he's like, and then maybe, what about a snake? Can I get a snake? And maybe one of those like vests like I'm a man at work, except I'm in the ocean. You know, where it's just like a bro describing all of his photo shoots.
I feel like that was the actual photo shoot pitch, because that was so surgical and accurate. Or the miss was like, hey, who's your favorite wrestler? Razor Ramon? We got you.
Let me put on a leather jacket and I've got,
You don't got a toothpick? Don't worry about it.
I'll just be in the jungle in a leather jacket. That would be cool, right?
That's hilarious. Thank you for that, Taylor.
I too got to run it up for, it's a duo, DEI, Jennifer Aniston and Tiana Taylor.
Okay.
Nice.
I know I cheated, but
no, it works. We
that
can do
was
that.
a cheat.
Emma Stone will get to play again.
Okay.
She will have another photo shoot one of these days.
I hope so.
Please, I hope she doesn't bring that hair. Whoever did that, don't do that again.
Yeah, it wasn't. Listen, Emma, if you're watching, everyone likes you, and maybe
Emma, you can borrow some of this hair next time. It's okay.
Oh no, okay.
It's like what like war-torn country is she about to play football in? With those weird pads.
Okay. All right, as we always do on Friday, we got some flick picks for you. If you're looking for something to watch this weekend, the long-awaited highest to lowest Spike Lee joint starring Denzel Washington, Jeffrey Wright, and his son Elijah, who we had on this very show last week. Wow. Let's check out the trailer.
Wake up, y'all, the king's here. Buying back, stacking this record. It's a lot of money. There's more to life than just making money. It's integrity. That's what you stand for. What you think?
I think you gotta be a little crazy sometimes in this world to get what you want.
King David, now ain't this something? I got your full attention now, huh? You finally listening to me.
Somebody's got Trey.
What do you mean somebody's got
Somebody's kidnapped our son.
$17.5 million in an all-black Jordan backpack.
Try me if you think I'm playing.
I ain't got...
Back up the trunk from the front. 11 a.m. board the 4 train going to money-making Manhattan.
You let him go, I make sure you set free.
It's too late for all that.
It's never too late.
You're not God no more. I am.
35 and I'm still a pretty guy.
I gotta feed the streets, my lady, and a newborn kid. And I ain't trying to go back and do another bid, you dig?
I know what it is to risk everything you have for something that you want. I know what that means, to have nothing and want everything.
What is that? Insurance. That's Jake from State Farm.
Jeffrey Wright is so great.
Then.
I can't wait. I love that whole ensemble. Also dropping this weekend is the action comedy Nobody Too Strong. Bob Odenkirk, Sharon Stone, Christopher Lloyd, and the RZA. It hits theaters tonight, and it's the sequel to the first one that came back in 2021. A little B-roll to the trailer in the background going on. Yo, if you like action movies and just people just getting beat up, bare knuckle style and with anything that a person could find, this is the movie for you. I love the first one so much.
The other thing I like about this one is it's not young people who are doing all the ass whipping. It's like guys of a certain age, women of a certain age, kind of past their prime.
Yeah.
They still got it.
Yep. They're gonna have to soak, but later. But they got
definitely got to soak.
Yeah. All right, we got to take a quick break. We got more side dish in just 2 minutes.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time!
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
Like it's a spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 9:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back. So on Roger Hamilton's IG page, TeacherMan91, he asked this couple what one movie they could watch over and over for 24 hours straight to get $1 million. And they said The Last Dragon and Interstellar.
Wow.
Which is quite the combo. But what movie do you think you guys could watch to get that $1 million over and over without going to sleep?
Mine would be Pretty Woman.
Okay.
That's my favorite movie.
All right.
That movie's came up twice.
That's twice in this week.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Must have been a black girl somewhere.
For me, it's Juice.
Okay.
Because it's an adequate length. There's enough action and stuff going on and people that we recognize. And I'll also chase that movie Juice with Transformers, the movie, the one from 1986 where Prime dies.
Oh, wow.
That movie
You got the touch. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Man, that's my joint.
That's a heartbreaking movie for kids.
Yo, man, people was getting killed like in the first couple minutes of the movie. Like, I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what would keep me awake. There's a part of me that wants to go with like Lord of the Rings extended director's cut. Oh, wow. And then a part of me is also like, I might notice a lot in Bikini Car Wash over the course of 24 hours. I don't know. I don't know. Interstellar's up there for me. I could definitely watch that a couple times.
Like, because I've never finished Interstellar. I started watching it on a plane one time. And it just seems like that requires you to like get to and lean all the way in. Because it's just too much detail, too much happening, and a lot of quiet in pockets of time.
You're absolutely right.
Wild.
Yeah, it is wild.
And I feel like, and I love The Last Dragon, but you know, like sometimes when you watch a movie too much, you start picking it apart. Or watch the movie that you was in love with as a kid, and when you watch it as an adult, it'd be like, yo, it's weird. That's how I feel about Breaking 2.
Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah, trying to understand the dynamics between Turbo and Ozone. So it's like, y'all lit together? Like, what's happening?
The plot. I need to know the plot.
And I'm sure Miracles got saved and then closed 6 months later because they saved it for that month.
Yeah.
Inside knowledge.
Inside knowledge. There we go. All right, we're going to be back in 2 minutes with everybody's favorite game. Whose cousin is it?
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 10:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher. He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me? Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that? Ain't it alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Welcome back, guys. It's time for everybody's favorite game. Whose cousin is it?
Uh-oh, I'm excited.
Cousin crime, but I hope it's not mine. All right, here we go. When going to Subway goes wrong, and no, we're not talking about Jussie Smollett.
Okay.
A 37-year-old man just got locked up for assaulting a federal agent with, wait for it, a Subway sandwich.
Wow.
Now, that's what we call big felon energy.
Guess he's about to have a lifetime supply of $5 footlongs in the pen. Bring a napkin. So this popped up shortly after Trump ordered a federal takeover of the D.C. streets. Now, a Delhi defender walked straight up to a Fed and yelled, "Why are you here? I don't want you in my city," and called them fascists, and then launched this straight to the chest of a U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agent.
Yo, our team is on top of it, because I don't know whose cousin it is, but I just heard about this crime.
Okay.
Yes, it was all caught on camera after delivering a sandwich smack down to the feds. He tried to make a run for it, but he got snatched up quicker than an all-you-can-eat in a Subway cookie. In the end, he confessed, and he said, "I did it. I threw a sandwich."
Now put that on a t-shirt. Now, the sandwich slinging assailant was charged with 1 count of assaulting, resisting, or impeding officers. And that's wild right there. Whose cousin is this?
This is so interesting. This is such a beautiful, wonderful crime. Part of it leans towards, I'm leaning towards my cousin, because I just don't think, I'm just not sure that your cousin will antagonize a fully kitted federal agent.
Right.
Wild enough. I have a friend named Conrad, and we was in Manhattan a couple years ago, and he saw a policeman on a horse, and he's like, "What you doing out here on that horse? You think this slavery times, bruh?" And I'm like, "Conrad, if you don't shut up." If you don't like, yo, like, I don't want to get, like, tased by a man on a horse. So every now and then, like, we do jump out of pocket, but for me, it was the fact he called him a fascist. Oh. And I don't know too many of us who say that word or know what it means.
My cousins love the word fascist.
Ooh.
My left-leaning cousins, that's their favorite F word, even more so than the other one.
You know what I thought that used to mean?
Fascism?
Yeah, like fascist. Like I thought it was somebody who, like, it was like, you know, oppressive to people because of what they wore.
Oh.
Like fashion.
That's hilarious.
I was just breaking down the word.
But you're not all the way wrong.
So who are you giving it?
I'm giving it to Tanner's cousin.
Thinking my cousin?
Oh, okay. We know it's not a black man because he would not be alive right now. So I'm gonna give it to other. I'm gonna give it to other.
Other?
Okay.
Do you think there was like one of them hot sandwiches? Because it would have weighed more if it was like a hot
Yeah,
sandwich.
what kind of sandwich was it?
Philly?
I think that it's, you know, probably someone's family member that may have gotten deported or at risk.
Other cousin.
Yeah, other cousin.
Sure.
Yeah, other in that.
I could see other.
Ellis Island cousin.
Ellis Island cousin.
Yeah.
We came here and made a life for ourselves, cousin.
This was supposed to be the land of the free cousin.
Yeah. Give me your huddled masses, cousin.
I just want to see the video, whoever it is.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Move that van.
Surprise.
Let's go, Tanner.
Yes, that's right.
Charles Dunn.
That man is fighting the good fight. Sean Charles Dunn.
Oh.
Look at him. My mustache brethren right there.
And he got that confident posture, too.
It's very
I'm arrested,
confident.
but I'm proud. I stood up to the man
Look at that.
today.
He got that fashionable pink shirt.
Yeah. Wow.
Do you think he got the sandwich back?
No.
No.
I don't think he
Is it like in evidence?
I hope that he took one rip out of it, just one like, and then ka-cha, just and exploded all over the guy's chest.
Art is a real mess in DC going on right now.
Yeah, I think that that's what they want everybody to know. I don't think it's a real mess except for the mess that they're causing.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
So y'all don't make a mess out there, and y'all be sure to catch the message and come back and see us on Monday. Like, subscribe, tell others we out here.
That's right.
Mz Shyneka, thank you for hanging out with us today.
Thank you for having me. It's always such a pleasure.
And where can people find you online and listen to your radio show?
They can find me at Mz Shyneka and wake up with me each and every morning. Young Jock in the Streets Morning Takeover.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Guys, enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back on Monday with more live episodes of Side Dish.
Adios. Be kind to each other and share that sandwich.
Share the sandwich.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another great episode of Scrolling with Jen and V. We have a packed show for you all, our viewers out there, okay?
Yes, yes.
Because what y'all do on your phones all day today before y'all came here to watch us? What they doing, V?
Scrolling and being nosy, just like we do.
Might as well bring it on TV,
That's
right?
it.
Okay.
Make it simple
bring
for
it to the
y'all.
forefront,
Make it
huh?
easy. Yeah.
Watch what we watch. We watch what you watch, okay? That's how we do it. All right, V. We got our bevy of the night, V. And what do we
Yes.
call
Ooh,
this?
it's so
Because it's
good.
based off of our show today.
The slip and slide, child. The slip and slide, because some of y'all be doing some slipping and sliding in the DMs in between the sheets and in these streets.
Exactly.
Okay?
That's
So we
what it
gonna
is.
call it out because it's on social media.